I had experience having my own house painted before owning a painting business. Found a great painter, called him back for a second paint job, and it was a horrible experience. Didn't show up when he was supposed to, didn't complete the job in the time frame he stated he'd completed in, and used two different types of paint on my walls, which was obvious. And you could see two distinct different sheens on one wall. So in starting my own painting company, I wanted to have a professional company that people could depend on for consistent service. Every time you call, you're going to get a good painter who does the job the right way. A lot of my painters have been with me 10 years or longer. Every painter that is with me now has been with me 3 years or longer. I find the best painters in the business and I keep them.
This is How It Done. I'm Adam Helfman. So we talked about Paint 101. We had PPG paints in here, telling everyone why they're the best. I tend to agree. And now, we've got a professional painter. And this is interesting. In the state of Michigan, you have to be licensed to be a residential painter. And Higher Done pre-screens contractors all over the place. And it's rare because a lot of painters in Michigan who do commercial work, because you don't have to be licensed to do commercial work in painting in Michigan, but you got to be licensed to do residential work. So a lot of painters don't even qualify for Higher Done because they're not licensed. But I've been lucky. Higher Done is lucky and fortunate because we have a painter that's been with Higher Done over 10 years. Joining me in the Higher Done studio is Mr. John Cox from Prep Right Painting. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Adam.
You like that intro?
Yeah, that was great.
Let me get right into it. Give me 3 important tips on prepping paint.
Well, I named my company Prep Right because prepping is the most important thing. I mean, from the start, before you even start painting, you have to clean things up. You can't paint over dust, dirt, and debris. Then second, you need to make sure that you are repairing things properly. The worst thing is after you finish the paint job and you see the outline of where the patch was done. And so being able to properly patch and sand out a repair, and then making sure that the walls are ready for paint, whether that's pole sanding or just washing the walls down prior to painting.
So how do you know when they're ready? I mean, is it just visually, like experience? What's the right way to know?
It is a lot of experience, but sometimes if in doubt, you do it anyhow.
How long have you been painting?
We've been in business since 2005, so this is over 13 years in business.
I love that. You know that statistic I like to throw out there. 96% of all contractors fail in the first 5 years. So you're over double that, brother. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
And speaking of that, what's been the biggest challenge all these years of running and growing a professional business?
Well, over the years, the challenges have changed. Right now, with the economy as good as it is, we are having a hard time finding new painters, new employees to come and join our team.
Never easy.
No, that's the most difficult part.
Would the word reliable be important?
Reliable, good personality, those are all
Friendly.
things. Yes, exactly.
Attention to detail, an eye for quality. Am I describing a unicorn?
They do exist. I've got 15 really good painters that work for me.
And they've been with you quite a while now.
Yes, most of my painters have been with me 10 years or longer.
Yeah, so, you know, and that's a sign of being a good boss. I mean, to be honest, it's a reflection upon you, so congratulations on that. Are you willing to train people?
Yes, we do bring in we seek out younger people who are looking to get into the painting trade because painters do make pretty good money these days. Finding people that actually want to work 5 days a week, 8+ hours a day is a challenge.
Only 5 days a week? You don't do 6 or 7 even? Or?
I would love to find painters that want to work 7 days a week, but painting does take a lot out of you. It is a physically demanding job. And after about 40 hours of painting every week, that's about as much as anybody can handle on a consistent basis.
Okay. Listen, that's what I just heard there is someone that respects the worker instead of saying, "Oh, I demand my guys work 7 days a week or 5 days or 6 days." I love that. That's called respect for the worker, and that just exudes like a culture in your company that's better. So I appreciate that, hearing that. That's a good thing. So John, we just had PPG paints on. You familiar with PPG?
Yes, we use PPG paints frequently.
And so Manor Hall is his benchmark paint. And, you know, listen, a lot of homeowners, I think they go for the color, not the brand. And I believe, in my opinion, that the professional contractor will be the one saying to the homeowner, I use PPG and here's why. Do you get that question?
I do get that question. A lot of times customers have a specific paint brand in mind before I walk in. When they ask for my opinion, I will pick the best paint for their job. In a lot of cases, PPG's Manor Hall is the best paint for that application, or we'll use it just because our painters like to use it.
So is there so you say your painters like to use it. So there is a difference in quality of paints? And then applicable. Like, is there I don't, you don't have to call out a brand, but there's a difference in a Manor Hall as opposed to some low grade, paint.
Right, exactly. And that's something that I educate my customers on, is just because a painter writes down that he's going to use PPG paints or Sherwin-Williams paints doesn't mean you're getting the highest quality of that brand. There are brands or paints in that
grades,
brand,
different grades in that.
Right, that are for just apartment painting, quick, get it done,
quick coverage,
want it done cheap.
Oh.
That paint doesn't last. It's not going to hold up well. And so I ask my customers a lot of questions before recommending a paint. To get to, do we need to use a high quality paint, or is this customer not really in need of that?
Right. There's the price shopper, there's the quality customer, there's all kinds of levels. And it's your job as the professional painter to identify and match what they're asking for.
Right.
Now, you always got the one homeowner who has the Cadillac taste on the Yugo budget, right?
Well, that's true, but frequently
They have to pay for quality, though.
Once they see what they're getting, they're willing to pay a little bit more, even if they go into it with the mindset they're going with the lowest bid. When they see a company that's going to come in and do the prep the way it's supposed to be done and recommend a paint that's going to last longer so they don't have to paint more frequently.
How long should paint last?
I mean, we've seen...
Done properly.
Right. We are repainting customers' homes that we painted 13 years ago now. So,
but it's not like it wore out. It's more like they just want to upgrade the color.
Those walls look great still. So
makes it easier for you.
It does.
You give them a discount since you know it's an easy... you're like, hey, Mrs. Jones, I painted this 13 years ago. I know you're upgrading the color, but since it's such a good paint job, I'm going to give you a discount.
Well, I give my customers the best price that I can every single time.
Good answer. I like that. You like pizza?
Oh, I love pizza.
What's your favorite toppings?
Pepperoni.
Okay. Do you like the pepperoni where it curls up?
Oh, that's the only kind.
Like the grease in the middle?
Exactly.
Oh,
I need
right?
the grease in the middle.
Okay, so let me give you a little hack. We're calling it a pizza hack. There's a pizzeria chain around here called Buddy's.
Oh, my favorite.
Right? They put the pepperoni under the cheese, and that's a no-no for me. So when I order my pizza from Buddy's, I'm like, here's the deal. Pepperoni on top, extra sauce, because they do the sauce on top, too. I don't know if you know that. Well done. You got to tell them well done. I told them I want those pepperonis curled, and each one better have a dropper full of grease in it. Oh, are you hungry? I'm hungry now.
Yeah, I definitely need some Buddy's pizza now.
Right? Are you looking forward to a good year next year?
Oh, it's going to be a great year.
You think so?
Yeah, we've continued to grow every year for the last 3 years. We're booked through January at this point. We do have plenty of room for one-day smaller jobs.
Okay, so you can always squeeze in.
Exactly. So the way I operate my business is I've got 3 crews that I schedule out, and then 1 crew that's my floating crew. So they are available for short notice jobs.
Okay. You hear that, folks? So when you put the request in at HunterDone.com, put it at short notice. I'll make sure John puts you at the front of the line. Oh, that's going to come back to bite me, isn't it?
I work magic.
So how about for homeowners who want to paint their house next year? If they sign up now, is there a discount at all? Or maybe a little bit of a preferential treatment?
We always offer a pre-season exterior painting discount. If you book your exterior paint job before February 1st, we take 10% off of our already low-priced paint jobs.
Oh, wow. So that's a heck of a job.
It is, and the reason I do that is just to make sure that I've got plenty of work already booked for my painters coming in. Once we start painting exteriors for the season, our lawn signs are going to get us 3 jobs for every 1 house we paint.
Oh, that's right. You get that's the other thing. Your work is majority referral. I know that for a fact.
Yes, and our exterior paint jobs speak for themselves. When we put a lawn sign outside a job that we painted the outside of the house, then we get calls.
Quick story. Years ago, I remember you were painting a friend of mine's house. I referred you. And first thing you did was you had to power wash it and clean it. He called me up after you power washed and cleaned it. He says to me, Adam, I want to cancel the paint job. I'm like, what's wrong? He says to me, after they power washed and painted and cleaned my house, it looks brand new. So remember I called you and I'm like, yeah, hey, we got to figure this out. And you're like, don't worry, now when I paint it, it'll even look better. And the guy, he's like, he bragged about you because he ended up painting and he loved it. So thought it was pretty good. John, you rock, brother. Give everyone the website to get a hold of you.
Our website is paintmichigan.com.
Love that. John Cox, Prep Right Painting, paintmichigan.com. That wraps up our first hour, folks. But don't worry, we've got one more to go. And it'll be even better when we talk flooring, air quality, keeping your home clean, really clean. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Higher Done Radio Network.